What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the No Hedging Podcast. I am your host, Ty the Jet Franklin, and we are back with another episode of Division Talk, where we talk about what are the division predictions for the upcoming season before it starts. For this episode, we're going to be talking about the NFC North. All right, NFC North. So for any of you NFC North fans out there, you Chicago Bears, you Detroit Lions, you Minnesota Vikings, and your Green Bay Packers, you want to listen to this video, all right? But before we jump into it, make sure you hit that like button, you comment your thoughts below, and you subscribe to the channel for more NFL heat, all right? So let's not waste any more time. Let's get right into it. Let's talk about the NFC North, all right? So the NFC North, we got, I would say, it's going to be fairly competitive, all right? There aren't really any top-tier quarterbacks in that division right now. You got Jared Goff, which is a good quarterback. You got Kirk Cousins, which is a good quarterback. Justin Fields, he still has some growing to do. I think this is the season for him to figure that out. And then you also have Jordan Love, which is his first full season as the starter for the Green Bay Packers, replacing Aaron Rodgers up there. So we don't know what to expect out of him, but let's just go ahead and start with it. I believe that the Minnesota Vikings, yes, I said it, the Minnesota Vikings will reign the NFC North champs this upcoming season. Now, the reason why I say that is a lot of people are selling stock on the Minnesota Vikings because of last season. They had a lot of, 1-point wins and this and that. But nevertheless, their team really hasn't changed that much. They got rid of Dalvin Cook, which is, not big of a deal because they have Madison there as another running back for them. But ultimately, they still have Justin Jefferson. They still got Kirk Cousins. It's another year up under that offensive system. So I feel like they're still going to be the top dog in that division. Now, I'm not going to say they're going to blow out the division and beat everybody and just take away and run with it, but it's going to be a close battle for that division title, and I think the Minnesota Vikings are going to come through and make that shit happen, all right? Now, let's talk about the Detroit Lions because there's a lot of noise, a lot of rumblings about the Detroit Lions coming out with the division. They have a lot of buzz right now. Last season, the Detroit Lions, they had a nice little run towards the later half of the season, the beginning of the season. They started off 1-6, all right? And nobody was talking about them. But people started talking more about the Detroit Lions as they got further on into the season. At the end of the season, when they beat Green Bay and knocked Green Bay out of the playoffs and ruined those chances. But the last 4 teams that they played in that season, last season, didn't even make the playoffs, right? So I'm still going to pump my brakes on the Detroit Lions until I see a little bit more. Now, I do understand they have a good team. They do fight, they build, but their defense is not that great, okay? They give up a lot of points. They do score a lot of points, but they also give up a lot of points on the defensive side as well. And this season is not going to be easy for them, all right? They open up the season playing the Chiefs at Arrowhead, all right? Then you got the Seattle Seahawks, which is no slouches at all. Then you're playing the Ravens. So their whole schedule, they're playing the NFC South and the AFC West. So they're going to be playing not the NFC South. The NFC South quarterbacks aren't that great. We already discussed that. But the AFC West, you got your Justin Herbert, you got your Pat Mahomes, and you got Russell Wilson over there. I'm not going to put a lot of stock into the Detroit Lions until I see something else this season because at the end of the day, they are still the Detroit freaking Lions, all right? Haven't been to the playoff in how many years? Decade, right? So until I see a little bit more of the Detroit Lions, I'm not going to put enough stock into them to say that they're going to win the division. I will say they probably finish second or third in this division, all right? Now, you got the Green Bay Packers. You Packers fans, you got Jordan Love as your starting quarterback this season. There wasn't a lot of noise rumbling about what he can do, but after watching a few preseason games, we see that he's capable of being a decent quarterback in this league. Now, is he going to be Aaron Rodgers? Is he going to be Brett Favre? Probably not. But is he going to be able to, handle the team and run that offense as he needs to do? I believe so. And they still have some offensive weapons over there. They still have Aaron Jones as a running back. They still have Christian Watson, a receiver, second-year receiver. They still have Dobbs as a second-year receiver out there. So it's a young team on the offensive side of the ball. But on the defensive side of the ball, they still have some talent as well, right? So now the defense hasn't been playing up to the expectations as everyone thought they should be playing up to, but they still have some pieces on the defensive side of the ball that can kind of help out Jordan Love on his offensive journey managing that team. So with that said, I think it's going to be a close battle for second with that with the Packers and the Detroit Lions when it comes to that. But I think the Packers, they got a good quarterback that they're working on, that they're developing, but it's going to take some time for them to get to that point where they're going to be winning that division, as they used to. Now, we move along to the Chicago Bears. All right, so let's go. You Bears fans out there, I know you guys was excited about getting Justin Fields, but he's 5-20, okay, of starts. So, 5-20 is not good. But this is his season. They put a lot of pieces around him to make sure that he can elevate his game. And I think we've seen glimpses of that going into, coming into this season. From last season, we've seen a little bit of glimpses of Justin Fields taking a step in the right direction. We've seen a lot more running, things of that nature, but his decision-making on throwing the football is kind of where he lacks, right? So not saying that he doesn't have the talent, the arm talent, or whatever the case may be, but it's just decision-making, making the easy throws, getting the layups, things like that. That's what he struggles with. But they also brought in another piece on the offensive side to help him. They went and got DJ Moore. They went and got Chase Claypool. The defensive side of the football has kind of been lacking a little bit. They got rid of, Roquan Smith, which was kind of the heart and center of that defense. So we'll see what that defense does this upcoming season, but all eyes are going to be on Justin Fields and seeing if he can take that next step up to the next level and bring this team from the back of the pack to at least the middle of the pack in that division. I believe the Minnesota Vikings are going to take this division. They're going to win the division in the NFC North. All right. That's it for this episode. Make sure you comment your thoughts below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the next one. We out.